Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are so excited to see you. It is day two of Feminine Path to Wealth. Oh, I love seeing returning faces and I love seeing some new faces too. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. Emma Grover in the house. Hello, hello. Good to see you. We've got Allison, Laura, Emma, Aubrey. Well, Chino, we've got Rachel, Leslie, Mona, Mary, beautiful. We are going to give a couple minutes here for everyone to come in. I would love to start with, for those of you who were here live yesterday, what was your biggest takeaway? Share in the chat what you took with you. I know that we covered a lot. I feel like a lot of things that we covered too. I was kind of stream of consciousness, so I had planned teaching and then completely did something else because sometimes that's what happens when we are on these events, and that's okay too. And that's something that I think when we are on the feminine path to wealth and we are coming from a background that is perhaps more male dominated, not making men wrong, just like the male dominated space that you tend to feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to follow a perfect plan. I've got to have this like fully flushed out PowerPoint if I'm doing a presentation. I remember when I gave myself permission to stop doing PowerPoints because I didn't like them a few years ago. It was so empowering. I don't know how many of you have even given yourself permission to ask, like, how do I like to present? How do I like to sell? What feels real and true for me? And even just making that change, like sometimes I feel excited about a PowerPoint. If you get a PowerPoint for me, it's because I'm excited about it. But if you don't, it's because I'm not, and I don't feel like we need it. So giving yourself that permission. Allison is here today, and she's going to be speaking a little bit. And we were even chatting with one of our clients in Marco Polo a few days ago about just like giving yourself the permission to be in real time, following the inspiration, working live with your clients. So I want to just invite everyone into the energy today of trusting yourself, the energy of trusting. This is so big too with money. Like trusting, if I am making a decision with money, I always make the right decision. For me, there is always more than enough. I trust myself. I trust the universe. I trust God. Create that trust within yourself, whether it applies to, I know I can show up and stand there on a stage and deliver powerfully from the heart when it's time. I know I can lead a group of people powerfully. I know I can sell powerfully. I know I can make decisions for myself powerfully. That is part of the feminine energy of aligning with your next level of wealth. It's tuning into your intuition, it's tuning into your desires, it's making decisions based on expansion and desire versus fear and constriction. I think this is really, really big and important. Just tune in and ask yourself and notice, like, how am I decision making in my life right now? Is it based on fear, constriction, on present circumstance? Or is it based on desire and expansion and where I am going versus where I have been? This is a huge shift. I remember Laura Grabavoy, who you all heard from yesterday. I remember her speaking about this in one of our 10K Club group calls a while back. Just that shift and the feminine energy, it's about pleasure, it's about desire, it's where you can trust yourself. I think we've been taught, and some of this is generational, some of it's epigenetics. We've been taught we can't trust it, right? We've been taught we can't tune in. We've been taught it's dangerous. We've been taught it's unsafe. I want to invite you today in this moment to reclaim your ownership of yourself. Reclaim your ownership of your intuition, your guidance, your desires, to trust yourself more than ever before. Allison, I think I was sharing this with you when we were in Canada a couple of months ago. When I was speaking, you came and we met up at the speaking event, that I had made the decision because I was making some moves at the time that felt very stretchy and very expansive for like the past version of me. And I made the decision. I was like, I am just going to trust myself no matter what. And I'm going to see where it leads me. So, what if you did that? What if you played with that? We spoke about that this morning on in our mastermind call. One of our mastermind members there, and she started in 10K Club about a year ago. And she moved into our mastermind. She's now getting certified as a consultant. But she said, I realized that the way I want to lead my life and the way I decision make is really different than what I saw modeled growing up. But I've given myself permission to do it my own way and to make decisions based on my own intuition. And that theme has come through so strongly for every woman here over the past 2 days. So I trust that that lands with you wherever it needs to land, and that's resonating however it needs to resonate for you. But that's what I'm feeling for this entire group today. And when we do that, it will never steer you wrong. It really, really won't. Let me see what our takeaways were. Okay, Laura, the idea of expansion. Caroline's share was so powerful. You can quantum leap even as you are grieving or going through other things in your life. Yes, so, so good. The ability to hold two truths at the same time. That's also a feminine path, right? Or feminine trait. Masculine energies, it has to be this or that. It can't be both. One of the best things I ever learned from one of my mentors was, she called it take a stand for the and. So this is the feminine. I can do this and that. So sometimes I'll talk to women who are like, I want to invest in myself. I want to do your program. I want to do coaching, but I'm paying off debt. So I can't do that. It's like, well, what if you could do both? What would it look like if you could do both? If you could simultaneously invest in yourself, do the thing that's speaking to you, and in that decision, in that declaration that I am worthy of support, that I am worthy of calling in more, generate more resources to pay off the debt that you're wanting to pay off for the credit card, right? Like, what if it could be both? And I think that's where we get to open up our minds and our energy to taking a stand for the and, to say, I would like this and that at the same time, and I'm going to claim it and I'm going to receive it. So, whew, we get to trust ourselves. We get to breathe. We get to know that everything we desire is in reach, is available right now. I think I actually want to take you all through a guided visualization as we start here. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Let me see here. Rachel, I can just be me, funny and fun. I will make my first million by being me. Caroline, you inspired a lot of people. I love it. Yes, totally. And the more you fall in love with you, the more you fall in love with who you are, who you came here on this planet to be, how you're wired, what your divine design is, and you bring that into your business. Like I was sharing on our mastermind call this morning. I I'm a woman who just like, I love beauty. I love aesthetics. I like, if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably be a makeup artist. I just love it. I enjoy it. It's so fun. And so I started playing with the energy of that in my business and and I did this at a time when it felt like money wasn't flowing as well as I would like it to. And I was like, okay, what do I really care about? Like, what are the feelings I want to have in my business? I want to feel love. I want to experience beauty. I want to have joy. So I started playing with how could I infuse everything I do in my business with that energy? How could I bring more beauty into my business? How could I decorate my Instagram the way that I've decorated my home? Like, how can I create things that feel beautiful, that feel like love, that feel like luxury, like the things that I personally value and care about? And money flows in that energy. It really does. So there's this beautiful like both and approach we get to take here for those of you who have been conditioned that selling or next level money goals requires grinding, requires being totally in your masculine energy. No, it doesn't. Are those things helpful? Are they supportive? Do I enjoy a spreadsheet? Yes, like those things are all helpful and supportive, but it's the energy that you bring to the thing that is going to make the difference. So you can be in your feminine energy, you can flow through leads, you can flow money, you can circulate while simultaneously having structure of masculine systems in your business, whether that's your CRM, your spreadsheet, your script, whatever it is. But those things are not going to stifle you. They're not going to suppress you. They are not, we are not ruled by them. We use them as supportive tools. So with masculine and feminine energy, masculine energy at its highest level is designed to be in service to the feminine. That's actually how it's designed. That is where, if you look at a male female relationship, like when they're both in their power, the man is actually getting his satisfaction from serving the woman. I know that may sound strange and that may be a little bit opposite of what some of us have learned and been taught, but men in their empowered masculine energy, they love giving, they love providing, they love serving, they love supporting. And so when you can create those energy dynamics within yourself, and we do a lot of work in the 10K Club, and I'll show you all behind the scenes today of what that looks like, of shifting your own inner masculine and inner feminine to create a really powerful blend for yourself. It gets really exciting because we tend to pattern our inner masculine energy after our father figure, whoever that was. We pattern our inner feminine after our mother figure, right? And if they had their own wounding or stuff to figure out, which like who doesn't, like, right? We will unconsciously create perhaps an unsupportive masculine energy in ourselves where we're like, I have this big vision, but I'm struggling to take action towards it, or I don't feel supported in that. Or if we had a mother who is in her wounded feminine and we take that on, we have trouble receiving. We don't trust ourselves. We have trouble with the vision. So when we learn, and that's one of the four quadrants of quantum sales growth, masculine and feminine energy, when we learn how to heal and shift both of those energies within ourselves, it is dynamite. Like things change, things shift. It is remarkable the energy flow that you will get and how money will flow for you as well. So let me pause and take a quick look down here in the chat as well. So Corey, I'm not too much or too loud or too bold. That is exactly who I am, colorful in all. Yes. Do you have orange pants on today? So do I, sister. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. Are y'all ready? Woo! Are we twinning? We just did that. Does anyone else look at this? Everyone's showing their pants now. This is so cute. Yes. I absolutely love it. You got to show up, you dress for you, you show up as the $1 million, multi-million dollar version of you, whoever, like whatever the goal is that you're going for, and you call it in. All right. So I want to take everyone through a guided visualization just to connect with your higher self, connect with your vision. Shauna, if you can help just manage the waiting room and let people in during this, that would be fabulous. Okay, and let's just anchor it. I feel so much energy moving today for everyone. I want to ground us. I want to anchor us into possibility. I want to connect us with our vision, what we're going for. And so let's do it. So just taking a deep breath in through your nose and releasing. Another deep breath in through your nose and release. I want to invite you in this moment to really connect from the heart. This deep inner well of trusting yourself, of trusting your vision, of showing up every single day for you. You are worthy. You are abundant. You are supported. You deserve it. You deserve love. You deserve peace. You deserve wild, massive abundance beyond what you can possibly comprehend right now. That is available to you right now in this moment. God, source, universe, the divine, divine feminine, divine masculine, they want it for you. It's already available to you. It's just a matter of relaxing. It's just a matter of receiving it. It's just a matter of being available. It's just a matter of saying yes. And it's also a matter of you seeing you in a whole different light. Your identity always precedes your income. And so as we step into this next level of wealth energetics for you, whatever that looks like for you, and I want you to just hold that in mind right now, whether you're currently turning your annual income into your monthly income, maybe you're breaking through your first 10K months, maybe you want to make $1 million this year. There's no big, there's no small, it just is. It's all about what's right for you. Just tuning in to that energy of what that amount of flow looks and feels like. I want to invite you right now to envision opening up your banking app. Maybe you're on your cell phone, maybe you're on your computer, your laptop, your desktop. And I want you to see yourself opening it up. And I want you to see that number reflect that income goal. I want you to just breathe that in. Feel how that feels in your body. There's a whole nother level of expansion that's available. There's a whole nother level of receiving. I want you to feel the energy of that number right now in your bank account. What does it feel like in your body? What does it look like when you see it there? Feel the yes. Feel this is normal. Feel this amount getting deposited again and again and again and again and again. Month after month, day after day. This money shows up for you. It is a current. It is your new baseline. It is your standard. It is your normal. It just is. It's the masculine energy supporting your feminine vision. I want you to feel the gratitude, the appreciation. How many people said yes to working with you? How many lives you got to change to be in that energy, to receive that? I want you to notice how your family is thriving, how your team is thriving, how people are being supported, benefited like never before. I want you to notice who you are at this level in this energy. Now that this is your norm, now that this is default, now that this is expected, now that this is standard for you, who are you? Who have you decided to be? What have you stepped into? This is simply an expanded version of yourself. This is a version, an identity, a self-concept that has been available all along. There's nothing strange or abnormal about it. It just is who you are. This is a version of you who places fewer limits or restrictions on herself or himself. A version of you who plays full out. A version of you who claims your deepest desires. A version of you who trusts yourself at the highest and deepest levels possible. Knowing and remembering that your desires are of the divine, that your desires are green lights, that because that vision for you has flown through you, that it is for you, that you have the ability to carry it out, that you have the capacity to live it, and that you've decided to live it now. This is a version of you who stopped waiting. This is a version of you who stopped second guessing herself or himself. This is a version of you who became available to live life and your purpose and your passion most abundantly, most fulfilled, more satisfied, more excited, more grateful than ever before. This is that version of you. And feel that feeling in your body right now of you being this version now. There is no more wait. There is no more time lag. You just are. You just are. You're just her. It just happened. And now our expectations for ourselves from this place, your expectations have shifted. You expect and know that only good comes for you. You expect and know that things get to be easier, more streamlined, more simple than ever before. You expect and know that you get to receive at levels that are higher than ever before. This is normal. This is natural. This just is. It just is who you are. Take one more deep breath in and release. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Come back into this moment. Who in here saw more commas or more zeros than maybe you've seen before in the bank account? Yeah, good. So here's the beautiful thing about money and what I want you to remember. So you just connected energetically with the vibration of the frequency that you are calling in. All right. As we, as I said in the visualization, in the meditation, identity precedes income. It precedes income. So money itself showing up in the bank account is one of the last steps of the manifestation. All right. By the time it shows up, by the time you observe it in your 3D, it's like it's done, it's complete. But spiritually, energetically, it's already done. It is. It's already done. It's already complete. So the way to pull that to you and to have the physical experience with your senses of actually observing that in your bank account or on your sales report is to be a vibrational match for it. Now, what does that mean? Sometimes people say that and they're like, well, what does that even mean? At least there's three ways that I think about that. So your thoughts. Number one, we think Neville Goddard talked about thinking from the end, right? We go to the end result and you start to view your life through that lens. So you say, all right, when I am, like now that I am making whatever, insert your goal, the bill I just got, the opportunity to invest, the wardrobe, whatever it is. Okay, I'm catching myself saying that's a lot right now, right? But compared to who I am, where I'm going, compared to where I'm going, is it? That was actually how I decided to make my first six-figure coaching investment. Was I had heard you should invest 5 to 10% of what you want to make, not what you're making right now, but what you want to make into yourself in coaching. And this is at a time when I was making 100,000, but I wanted to make 1 million. And I said, all right, if I want to make 1 million, I should be investing like 100,000 into myself at least, right? Like that makes sense. And my analytical mind was like, this makes no sense. It was like, this is crazy. But I did it. And it was literally in that moment of making the investment that I quantum leaped. Like that was it. That was the moment. And Allison, I'm seeing you nodding your head. I know you've had that experience too. And I'll have you speak a little bit to that today, but there's something that happens when you say, I am this woman. This is my non-negotiable. Like this is what happens for women in 10K club or in the mastermind. We'll talk a little bit more about those today and opportunities to go deeper. It's when you make that investment in yourself and it is stretchy and it's not comfortable, that's when you change. Like that's actually when the transformation happens. Just like Caroline yesterday, you talked about like your $1,000 deposit on 10K and you're like, you said something, I don't know, I'm going to pay my phone bill this month or something like that. But now she's on a few months later talking about her first 25K month, right? Like this is the transformation and you do the work. Like this is what I want to say too, when we talk about the program, like it's not a magic pill, it's you showing up for you. So I think that's really important. But when you're ready, when you're ready for change, you're done playing small, you're committed to your expansion and you say, I am worth it, I declare it with what I'm investing in myself, that's when things start to shift. So it's number one, your thoughts, thinking from that end result. And you start to run your life through the lens of that. You start to say, okay, for the version of me who's here, is this a lot or is it not? Or like, how is she responding in this situation? How is she leading? If you're having thoughts of there's not enough, but you want to create a reality of abundance, you have to see abundance now. You have to view your life through the lens of abundance now. This is really, really key. This is actually the observer effect in quantum physics, where however you shift your focus and your attention, you're going to get more of that. So that's number one. Number two, your feeling state, right? Everything that you are looking to create, what you experience there in that visualization, whatever you saw in your bank account or in your sales report, there's a feeling state that comes from that. And Caroline, I loved what you shared yesterday where you talked about, as I step into greater abundance, I've actually never felt more like myself. And that's really beautiful because so often part of why we don't call in the money we want to call in is because we've got judgment on it, or again, we make money the bad guy, or we make ourselves wrong for desiring more. Money it's just a tool, it's just an energy to help empower you to take up more space on the planet, because with money you got a bigger microphone, you got more energy to flow, right? To take up more space and to live your fullest expression. That's what it is. So not allowing yourself to have or receive enough for you at your fullest expression is not kind to you. It's not self love. And your fullest expression is probably going to be far greater than what you even thought it was, like maybe a year ago, especially when you're in this community, when you're in the work, it will continue to expand. When we were on our mastermind call earlier today, what I was sharing was like, there was a long period of time where I thought, whew, okay, like seven figures is it. Like, and like this was it. I was like, if I can just hit that, like that is my most wild, abundant life. And I hit it and I was like, this is beautiful and I'm grateful and it's lovely and thank you. And the vision is so much greater now and it requires more like 8 figures a year. And so I've done the work we're talking about in this masterclass this week, in this event this week, to energetically fuse with her. And I know she's here and she's done and it's happened. And so now it's fun because now it's like, oh, I get to watch it start to shift and come in the 3D differently based on that. But it took being okay with who I thought my most expansive version was, who even like far exceeded what I thought would be possible 5, 6, 7 years ago, is no longer the most expansive version. And we get to know that that's okay, right? And we get to trust the biggest vision you can possibly see for yourself, whether you're on stages, you're living in the penthouse, you have multiple homes, you're one of the top keynote speakers in the world, you're a billionaire, like literally whatever it is, the fact that that desire is in you means that it is available to you. It is a potential for you. It is, again, your desires are of the divine. So there's a feeling state associated with that expansion. And it may feel, when you first tap into it, it may feel like a ton of excitement, like, oh, this is so exciting. I love this. Like, it may feel big, it may feel expansive. As you do the work that we do, especially in 10K, you will start to normalize and naturalize that number, that when you go back to it again and again, at a certain point, it actually just feels really normal. It feels peaceful. It feels like, yep, it feels like not a big deal. That's when you manifest it. That's when it happens. But for me, every time I'm ascending and climbing, at first it's like, whew, that feels really stretchy. That feels exciting, but still not a vibrational match for it. And that's okay. That's how you know that you're not yet a vibrational match for your money goal. As you think about it, you're like, I would be so grateful. I would cry tears of gratitude. I would be so excited. I would be shocked. I would be surprised. I would be thrilled. I would be relieved. I hear that a lot when I hear women talking about the amount of money they want to call in and how they would feel with it. But and that's okay. That's where we normally start. When you do the work that's in the program in 10K, it actually feels really normal and natural. When you go back and revisit it, it feels peaceful, it feels grounded, it feels like yes. And then it's not long until you observe it in your 3D from there. But there's a feeling state that's associated with it. And how do we pull it towards us? Laura, you spoke about this on our mastermind call earlier today about how the heart, it's the magnet, like in the quantum field, your heart is actually the magnetic force that pulls what you want to you. So when we feel the feelings we expect to feel from the end, love, appreciation, gratitude, bliss, thank you, peace, all of the feelings, we pull what we want to us faster. And that's part of the feminine path to wealth. Some people think, oh, feminine path to wealth is just I'm sitting on a meditation cushion and I'm like feeling it and it's falling into my lap. It's not what I'm talking about. There is still action involved. We are moving our bodies, we are taking action, but there's a difference between what we call in the community connected action versus disconnected action, right? Connected action, Abraham Hicks gives this analogy. Some of you have heard me say this before, and I love it. They say the way a lot of people take action towards their goals would be equivalent to saying, I'm going to vacuum my entire living room. And they're taking a lot of action and they're moving the vacuum back and forth over the carpet, but they never stop to plug it in. Like when we have not fused energetically and emotionally and vibrationally with our goal, it is the equivalent of trying to vacuum your living room without actually ever plugging it in, right, Rachel? I see you, like, you're getting this. This is landing. So we got to plug it in first and then we vacuum. That's the vibe. That is the feminine. So we're still taking the action, but we're doing it from a plugged in place where we're actually getting results, and it's happening a lot faster. We're not just pushing stuff around, like getting the same result that we had before. It's actually a really great analogy that they give. I love it. To me, it makes so much sense. So it's the feeling state. And then the final step is the action. Are the actions that I'm taking right now based on where I'm going or where I have been. And this is big because this is where faith comes into play. And this is the part that I would say really distinguishes and differentiates the people who say, oh, I would love that, but they don't actually have the result, versus the people who really get the result. So, Laura D, we had you speak yesterday. You did a little impromptu share about your experience, and you decided that you were launching, like really launching in an even bigger way your business. You decided you were done with corporate. You decided you were investing in yourself in private coaching here. And not only did you say, I would like to do that, but you actually did it and you took the actions. And there is a huge amount of taking actions in faith. And again, this is what distinguishes people. And I hear a lot of women, especially, say, I'd love to do it. I'd love to invest in myself, but the money's not in the bank account, or that, I'll do it when I make the sales. No, like if you do that, you are waiting, you're gonna be waiting forever. You're waiting for permission from your 3D to do what you want. The 3D is, and really what you're saying is, I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. I don't trust God. I don't trust the universe. Like that's what you're doing when you hold back from taking actions on the things you want to do. There's no energy in that. There's no like command to your subconscious, to the universe, that this is happening, that I'm calling this in. So the law of sufficiency and abundance states that for whatever desire you have on your heart, whether it's to invest in yourself in this program, in this community, if it's for something else, you will almost never have the full how when you feel the desire. Almost never. If you do, and I've done stuff like that too, I've invested in myself in programs where it was like, it wasn't stretchy and it was a really easy investment. Do y'all think I ever used it? Do you think I ever once hopped on or did it? No, like there was no transformation, no growth in that. And you all know what I'm talking about because you've done that too. Like where it's an easy investment, you're like, I don't really care about it. You don't think about it. It sits there. You've got to log in your email and you never use it, right? And you're like, why did I do this? Um, so there's no growth in that. But by the law of sufficiency and abundance, you will have what you need to get started. You will have what you need to get started. And this is how money works for us. All right. Money follows the decision. We cannot make decisions based on what is currently in the bank account. This is really important. All right. What is currently in the bank, your current sales results, they are just a reflection of your past thinking. And if you say, I can't do it because I don't have the money, the universe says, yes, you don't have the money. If you say, and your subconscious says, yes, you don't have the money, and it will block you from the ideas, the opportunities, the inspiration, the actions that you could take that would actually call in what it is that you desire. When I quantum leaped 5 years ago, had my first one, and I told you all the story yesterday of turning my annual income into my monthly income. The 10K club didn't exist yet. I just knew I was done playing small. I had a dear friend who had died. I wasn't that much younger than him. I had just had a big disruption in my life where um it's a long story. There's a big disruption. I had to like take down everything I built online around myself in the sales space because I left a company, a partnership, and there was a non-compete. So I felt like I was going from having a really strong identity to having no identity. I felt like I was in the unknown. I read the top 5 regrets of the dying. The number one regret that is shared in that book is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself rather than what everyone else expected of me. And it was in that combination of events that I decided I was done playing small, right? I decided I was done playing small. And then I felt guided to invest in myself, to get out of my comfort zone, because I realized how much my life at that point was controlled by money and by like making money God, and validating my self-worth based on it, letting it control me. My thoughts were consumed with it. And I was like, this is not who I actually am. Like, who am I outside of this, right? If you ever want to tap into your truth of who you really came here on the planet to be, take money out of it, right? And this is also a powerful tool for decision making. Take money out of it and take time out of it. What is your choice? That is your answer. That is your truth. So I was like, I'm done being ruled and guided by everything in my life has to go through this lens of money. Like, I want to live the fullest expression of me. From that point, invested in myself in a way that felt extremely uncomfortable, didn't even know how I was going to make the full payment on the thing, but I followed the guidance and the intuition. From that, the idea for the 10K club came through. That is now our signature program within the community that we've been running for about 5 years. Have generated millions and millions through that program, have changed so many lives. Many of you are members of it or started off as members of it. But the idea for this program did not come until I flowed the money, got uncomfortable, then the how came. And that is what that's literally what catapulted the entire company. So stop making decisions based on current circumstance. It is old news. If you do it, you will get more of it. All right, you will. But when you make decisions and then take action based on your end result, based on where you want to go, that's when things really shift. It's even like, and then I'm going to call up some of our guest speakers for today, but I think about some of you are familiar with like we're launching an office space here in Maine, and actually next week some of you are going to be there. We're having a client appreciation event. And it's beautiful. It's on the water. It's brick. It's like this old, really cool, refurbished warehouse style. It's all the vibes that I love. It's so beautiful. I saw this place in a dream years before we even moved here. And then I saw it walking on the street one day when we were here. And I was like, holy crap, that's the place. By the way, Ray, I'm so glad you're here. I love the hearts. I'm so glad you're here. It's so good to see you. But I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the place. And whew, I'm getting chills with it right now. When like I knew I was going to rent an office in it. I knew we were going to have a space in it. But and this was like a year ago even, had no team in Maine. There's no reason to have an office here. My entire business is remote. Like our clients are international, people are all over the place. Like didn't make any sense to have an office. But I had a knowing that we were meant to have an office on the water in that building, in that space. And so what's interesting is in the process of saying yes to it, and we leased it earlier this year, I still didn't know why. I still didn't know why we needed an office in Maine. I just knew I was supposed to do it. I told our community, I was like, I feel like Noah with the ark. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why am I setting up an office here? What has been so beautiful, though, and what has happened, and it's still in evolution, but in that process, we have attracted more team who's here local in Maine. So like shout out to Shauna. She was here on the Zoom. She's here in Maine. We've got other team in Maine who's coming in. We've started to host more events there in that space. And the vision that I've had for a long time to launch a magazine, to launch a media company, a podcast network. We are about, well, we're a week away from magazine launch. That's happening in a week, which we're so excited about. And we're probably about a month out from the studio being built in that space where we're going to record Superhuman Selling. We're also going to open it up for space for others in our community to record. We're going to launch a podcast network that highlights voices who are at the intersection of sales, science, and spirituality, which is really what our brand is about. And so none of that was clear at the start, right? None of that was clear. But it was this continued willingness, and this is what we have to do, and this is part of the feminine path to wealth, an availability to follow the nudges, an availability to think bigger, an availability to expand and to take action in faith, even when you don't see the full how. It's just like Steve Jobs said. You all know the quote. He said, "You will only connect the dots looking backwards." That's it. That's what happens when we're quantum leaping. Caroline, I love how you're saying to me, yeah, we've got great clients in Maine now. Like all these women have come in from Maine. Caroline's knocking on my door. She's here in Maine. She's a member of the community now. Like, but you have to take the action, right? You have to say yes. Otherwise, there's no reason for the universe to send you more money. There's no reason to receive more if you're not willing to put it on the line and say yes to you. So with that, I want to highlight and call up two women in our community who have done this really beautifully and who have followed the feminine path to wealth. And I'm just going to invite them to share a little bit about how they have done this, what this looks like for them. And then after that, I will share about some of the opportunities to go deeper in our community. We also have something very, very special through the end of the week for any of you who want to take advantage of. So stay on till the end so you can hear about it. We also have something that's for today and literally today only. So stay on until the end so you can hear what's available to you. If you want to go deeper into this, we'll talk about that and how that looks. But before we do that, Corey, Dr. Corey Wynn, I want to invite you to come off of mute and introduce yourself to the community.
Hello, everyone. I love seeing all your beautiful faces and so many of you I hope to see next week. Um, I am a doctor of physical therapy. I'm a She Sells consultant, and I'm the founder of the Carl Edward Foundation. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But it's interesting. I was preparing for this little talk over the last week, and I was really going in one direction. And this morning, as I was listening to the replay, it was like, turn over here, go this way. Um, you were talking yesterday about how our beliefs as children or the families that we grew up in really shape our wealth. And, the money doesn't grow on trees, all the things. And I'm literally walking around my office in my, kind of going over things. And I had this immediate realization that there is not one single woman in my family who I grew up around who was successful in business, who had their own wealth, who had their own path in life. I think of my mom when she was in college in the 1970s. Her entire life, all she wanted to do was go to vet school and be a veterinarian. She went to NC State for undergrad and met with her advisor her freshman year, who told her in 1970, "We don't have women in the vet school. You need to change your major." And she did. And she went and decided to do poli sci and didn't even finish because she said, I didn't even really know what I was going to do with that. And I watched my mom, who is incredibly smart and, so capable of so many things, dim her light and not go after that because someone told her she wasn't capable or she didn't belong in that room. And, there are some people in my family who are incredibly wealthy. They're all men. They all did the hustle, the masculine energy, all the things. And so I grew up around that wounded feminine, or even like your knight in shining armor will come and save you and then you'll be wealthy. I mean, I think a lot of us can be in that space of the Cinderella world. And it was this huge light bulb moment of, no, I am that woman. I am that woman that my daughter is going to see, who's created her own thing, who's authentic and bold in her own life, who has her own money. Not that my husband and I don't share it, but that she can see from every space that she is capable of whatever she wants to go after. Now, is that multi-millions? I don't know. But I think what our whole goal here is to recognize what is important to you and what you want. So the if any of you were here this summer, I see some beautiful faces who I met you this summer. But the other view that I had, or the other belief that was untrue, was, who am I to do that? And I'm sure that so many of you yesterday had a vision of either success that Elise spoke about or something that resonated with you from someone else in the community, and you immediately thought, oh, well, that's great for her, but I can't do that. That's not true. Elise talks all the time about the fact that our desires are green lights. So anything that I'm going to speak about, that Allison's going to speak about or did, that Laura, Elise has spoken about, you are worthy, you are capable, you are valuable, and are capable of doing those things. Um, so for me personally, this wasn't on this call. I think this was, no, maybe it was early. My calls are running together. I apologize. But so I have bright orange pants on. You can't see them, but that's me. The colors behind here, I'm bold, I'm loud. And for so much of my life, it was, ooh, tone it down. You're a little too much. And so I did for so many years. And what Elise and She Sells and Lara have taught us is, you are you and you will attract the energy that's meant for you. I probably am too much for some people, and that's okay. They're not meant to be in your circle. You are also enough for so many, and more than enough for so many. So know that there's billions and billions of people on this planet who are here and are supposed to be in your circle. And in our entire lifetime, we could never serve all of them. And I used to live in this space of, oh, well, they're already doing that. The market's saturated. There's too many of those coaches or whatever. And then I really sat back and like saw one of those videos where, you're in your house and then your house is zoomed out and then you're zoomed out all the way to the universe. And it was like, in the end, I'm an incredibly insignificant speck of matter on this earth. And I don't believe that about myself personally, but in the world, there's so many people and your people are out there.
Mm, absolutely.
Let's see. I'm totally off of my
No, it's okay. This is this is so good. Can I ask you, I wanna ask you, and if you have like I love what you're sharing, it's so powerful. So maybe you can weave this in a bit. I want to just mirror and share like seeing your growth and your evolution in this community, in this program, who you've stepped into has been so beautiful to witness, Corey. It's been so powerful. Some of the women here know, some don't, but like you and I went to high school together. We didn't even really like cross paths because we were different years, but I mean, we go way back apparently. And to see you, coming in, you started in 10K, oh my gosh, a year and a half ago, just about, I think January of 24, maybe. Something like that. And the original intention was to grow a health coaching business, and to see what you've done and how you have released anything that it wasn't aligned. You decided to step in as a consultant. So you're now a certified consultant. You're part of our first group of consultants. So when the magazine comes out next week, you all will see Corey with a feature on her, which is so beautiful and so, so cool. Um, and so Corey is a consultant, a coach within our community. And you also have launched this phenomenal nonprofit that you felt the inspiration for in December. And you just went out and you launched it and you did it. And you're now serving on boards. And I just feel like you have owned and claimed like who you came here to be. And there's such powerful alignment between the fullness of what's possible for you. And there's still going to be so much more, but I just think it's so beautiful. So I think maybe based off of that, any word of wisdom that you would have for those who are here live or watch it, there will be a lot of women watching the replay and men watching the replay. Like, what word of wisdom would you have to someone who says, like, wow, I feel like maybe I am right now where I was or where Corey was before she started her journey and her evolution? Like, what has been your guiding light? How have you had this transformation?
Just for making the decision to invest in myself. You talked so much about yesterday making the decision, but what the decision and the transformation was for me was I was always in a space of who am I to do that? And then we talked just the other day, what if you could?
Mhm.
And that is the vision, that's the lens that I look through everything. And not only from all the teachings, but even more personally, some of you may know this, some of you may not. I was hospitalized at the beginning of the month for transient global amnesia. My husband thought I was having a stroke. I mean, I went into the ED, ICU, all the things, had all the scans, everything. I'm totally fine. And it was just another wake-up call of it could have been something very serious. It could have been something very different. So everything that I look at is, well, that would be cool. Well, what if you could do that? Well, what if this can happen? Well, what if this money would come in? And what if that money would come in? And what if this opportunity would come to fruition? And the answer is always no if you don't ask.
Mm.
Always. And so I went from a space of being so afraid to ask for help or ask for opportunities or ask for places on the board to the worst that they can say is no. I mean, I'm not going to be tarred and feathered on the street, which was like the level of anxiety I used to have for asking for help or going for the next promotion or the next thing. It's like the worst that they can say is no. So that's what I look through the lens of life with now.
It's so beautiful. Yeah, so often we hold back and we're like, "Oh, I don't want to do this because what if? Like what if? What if? What if?" And usually we're actually living our worst case scenario and we're not even aware of it. Like we don't stop to think about it. We're like, "I'm not going to do it because like what I'm not going to ask them to buy because what if they say no? Well, they're not clients yet anyway. You don't have them as clients anyway. You're you're already living it, right? The worst thing that happens is you're right where you are when you started, but you learn something like how we don't the way the brain works, it doesn't stop and ask those questions. It views things through a different lens that's often not helpful. So we've got to learn how to frame things more powerfully for us. And what I know and what I've seen, and I love everything you shared, is when we're like when you, ladies, when you follow your inspiration, your intuition, your nudges, intuition is always going to guide you to where you want to go. It will always feel expansive. It will feel calm. It will feel grounded. It's not loud. Like sometimes people will say, oh, my intuition is like screaming at me. No, like that's not intuition. All right. That's fear. So fear is loud. Fear rocks your nervous system, right? Fear feels constrictive. We never want to make decisions from that energy. We want to make decisions so that Corey, like you shared, like investing in yourself was what catapulted it, making the decision from the end result and doing it from a place of what would I do for my most expansive level? That is what is going to get you to where you want to go. So, like I said yesterday, whether you invest with us, you invest somewhere, like invest in what is going to expand you, get yourself in a community, in a group of people who are going to support you in achieving your goals. That it, to me, that's everything. I think it's so important. So, so much gratitude to you, Corey. Thank you for sharing that. Y'all are going to continue to see Corey on these events, and we'll continue to kind of follow your journey and what you're doing. And I love the question of, but what if you could? Like that is to me, that is so, so powerful. Um, I love that, Laurette. I love, love, love that. Um, and Laurette is also one of our certified consultants who we are so grateful to have in the community, and we love and adore. All right, I'm going to bring up our second speaker for today, Allison Lecoussier. It is so good to have you here. You want to introduce yourself to the group? A lot of our ladies may already know you. Some of them may not know you yet. So if you want to say hi and who you are and where you're coming in from, we'll start there.
Yes, absolutely. I am Allison Lecoussier. I am an executive coach and I live in Southern California as of just over a couple months ago. I grew up in Southern Alberta, Canada, small town, moved to the island of Bermuda. I started my company in 2020 in the pandemic and became a professional speaker, speaking all over North America over the last 5 years, and just recently pivoted my company to host my own retreats, launch some product lines, write my book, and became a She Sells certified consultant this past year.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And Allison she's writing for our magazine, the lifestyle design column. And so that's really fun. Like, look out for that when it comes out next week, because when I think about what you've done with this material, I see that you have really built your life by design and manifested and created your dream life, not just money, but I would say in a lot of different areas with this material. And you started out, we started working together years ago, which was really fun. I don't think you started out in 10K though. You started right off as private, right? Was that
Yeah.
right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, like right into the deep end, which which is fun, but it's been so fun to watch you manifest your dream life and change a lot of lives and move to your dream location in California. And I think that you embody this material so beautifully. To what Allison shared before, she's a She Sells certified consultant. You co-facilitate programs within our community as well. And so it's really been so fun to partner together over this past year with all the beautiful things that we've launched and done together. But I would love if you just want to share with the women here live at the community, when you think about feminine path to wealth and how you've manifested some of the things you have, you've turned your annual income into your monthly income. You sent me a fun text this weekend about like a good, fun amount of money you brought in just like that in feminine energy. Like anything you want to share there that you think would be beneficial for the women who are here live or watching the replay, I think would be great.
Absolutely. I have been thinking about this this week as you asked me to come on and share. And I think one of the biggest shifts for me was I used to think that like amazing life experiences and living your dream life, like it was too good to be true. Like I looked at some other people's lives and I was like, that's too good to be true. Like maybe that's easy for Elise, or maybe that's easy for this person, but that's too good to be true for me. And I have to struggle or suffer or work hard or grind in order to have those things. And when I realized like how limiting that belief was for me, and I literally switched it. It was like around this time last year when we very first started the coaching certification. I realized what feels like too good to be true is actually your divine calling.
Mm,
Like
love
when
that.
it feels really good, when it feels right, when it feels expensive, when it feels exciting, when you're so lit up by it, that's your destiny.
Mm,
And that's when I really started trusting the things that felt good, the communities that felt good, the people that felt good, because there was always this like in the back of my mind, like something, this couldn't be that good. Yes, it can. It absolutely can. And it is. And so that to me was just like this release of, okay, so if it feels really good, that means it's my path. What does really good look like to me?
mm,
And that started this process of figuring out like, what does Allison, the soul aligned version of Allison, what does she love? What does she spend her time on? Who is she? How does she want to work? What kind of clients does she want to work with? And I gave myself permission to just freaking go for it. Like I just went for it. I was like, I'm going all in. Like, let's go. I'm having it. I want this schedule. I want this money. I want this man. I want this like weather. Like, I'm going for it because if it's lighting me up, it's meant for me, period. And that has just been so like for each and every single moment along the way, it has been so true for me and so right for me. Like, the better it feels, the better it is, the better it gets. And I think sometimes we can be conditioned through society, our childhood, all these things to think like, no, like joy is almost like something that we have to earn, or like one day I'll be worthy of joy when I, work hard enough, I'll be worthy of joy, or when I do certain things, I'll be worthy of it. That's not true at all. At all. It is your birthright today. And so it's been really fun. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I love birthdays. And this week have been leading up, and I had this like list of things like leading up to my 35th birthday. I'm like, these things are going to be done. Like, I'm going to have my dream schedule done. I'm going to live in my dream space and home. I'm going to like launch my magnetic success journal. I'm going to host my own retreat. I'm going to make the income that I want before my 35th birthday. And like leading up to this week, I've been like in deep reflection mode of this past year and like looking at photos and videos of my last year. And I'm like, whoa, like this year was unbelievable. And I could not have even imagined, like I tried to imagine how good it could be. It's been better.
mm,
It's been better. And so a couple of things that I wrote down, like if you have this like belief in your head, like, oh, it could be that easy for Allison, or it could be that easy for Laura, it could be that easy for Elise. It's not true at all. It gets to be that way for you. It gets to be too good to be true. There's no such thing as too good to be true. It gets to be that way for you. And the other thing is I used to build my identity based on the mirror of how the world was seeing me. So if someone treated me a certain way, I would kind of like bend and like become this like chameleon. Has anyone ever been like a really great chameleon? Where like people treat you in a certain way and you kind of like bend and mold yourself to fit into like experiences and community, and you build an identity around that. I decided that I was going to be the one to decide how the world was going to see me. And so this was this experience where I was working with Elise like earlier this year. I was going through a big transition. I was like, Elise, like, I need a private container. Let's go. Like, I'm coming back into the work. And we had this really beautiful private container for a few weeks. And she asked me, like, what would the like most bold, expansive version of you say? Like that little girl inside of you, that like one that used to climb trees and, be wild and, do all these things. Like, what would she do and how would she act? And what if she was the CEO of your marketing team? And so since then, I've aligned to bring more of me into everything that I do, into my business, into my relationships, into my friendships. And the payoff for that, like I just had $60,000 with like ease come into my account this week with a private client who's like paying in full, here you go, 60K. And I was like, that's so normal for me. Like that's so easy. And I feel like these things come when you are really unapologetic with who you are and what you bring to the table and what you want. So yeah. Any other
Okay.
like
Yeah.
thoughts that you want to give me?
Well, I feel like there's a theme here that's so fun, and I always love getting together for virtual events like this, and in person, of course. But there's themes that emerge, and they tend to be. I come in usually like kind of non-attached to what the group needs, although like you get it, you feel into the energy. We got some talking points, some plans, but themes emerge of what the group needs to hear, and that has been such a consistent theme both yesterday and today is leaning into just bringing more of you and who you are unapologetically into your business, and that is actually the magnet for abundance. That is the attractor, because what happens when you do that, and I don't care what you're selling, whether you're a coach, a speaker, a consultant, a financial advisor, a makeup artist, like there's something in that is so attractive to other people, because that's what we all really want at our core. We spoke about that on the mastermind call this morning for those of you who were there. When we're seeking greater abundance, financial abundance in particular, what we're really seeking is freedom. Like we're seeking freedom of choices, freedom to make decisions. And so we're actually, if you want to talk about vibrational alignment, the feeling you want to try to match with is a feeling of freedom, right? But even deeper than that, beyond just the money, beyond the feeling of freedom of choice, the freedom we're actually all seeking is the freedom to be fully ourselves at our core level. That is what almost everyone on the planet is seeking. So when you give yourself permission to do that, when you give yourself permission to wear the orange pants, to show up and speak boldly and unapologetically, to receive money, and talk about it and share unapologetically, to do that, to be like, this is who I am, this is what I'm here for. Yes, like I don't care if it defies what I saw model growing up or what the world would say is okay or standard or normal. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to be different. Like from that lens, people are magnetized to that. And it's not about what you're saying in your marketing copy. It's not about having the perfect funnel. It's an energy. Those things will improve from that energy, but it's an energy that's attractive, where for those of you who have, so maybe you've bought something and you're like, I don't even know why I'm buying this, but there's just something about it. Like, I need to be in this person's energy. I need to do the thing. That that is power. And that's the feminine power of magnetism. So that has just felt like such a theme the past 2 days, is permission to be fully yourself. And that is part of what generates wealth and abundance in ways that we can't always explain. So, anything final that you would share for someone who isn't in our community or in our space yet, but is like, man, I love these ladies. I love hearing what they're sharing. I'd love to be in a space like this. Anyone who's maybe sitting on the outside saying, I would love to be part of this. Maybe they're afraid to invest in themselves. Maybe they're not sure of themselves. Like, what would you say? Because you had that experience years ago and you're now on the other side of it. But what would you say to someone who's maybe thinking that?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. There's a really powerful neuroscience of being in a community like this. Like just for each of you to be in this room, what's happening with your brains right now is that you're creating mirror neurons to see, like, so when you're with Elise, one of the most powerful reasons why just even being in this Zoom call with Elise is so powerful is because we're mirroring what we see in her and ourselves. And so if you feel inspired by her, if you feel inspired by any of the women in this group, you're mirroring that back to yourself and you're strengthening the identity. So like there is a huge benefit of just being in the freaking room, like at any point, virtually, the mastermind, like that, it can't, you can't help but transform by being in people that have done the things that you want to do, that you feel inspired by. You automatically transform by saying yes. And then the other thing is, like, old Allison, like the kind of scarcity Allison, kind of going into an investment, sometimes there's these like little voices, like, again, it's like, it can't be this good. It can't be this easy. This is too good to be true. Like these like voices can come forward. And the truth and the reality of this community and of working with Elise, working with Laura, working inside of this container is yes, it does actually get to be this good. And I have changed my whole life because of it. And I've said this to Elise again and again. I'm like, I cannot imagine where I'd be today without saying yes to myself. And ladies, like, I just started my business and I was like, we're going for the like six-figure investment. Like it was stretchy. And yet it called me to the highest version of myself very, very quickly. And that's how it works. Like that is how it works. And so there, if there's ever this like moment where you're like, is this practical? Is this like logical? What will my financial advisor say? Like, trust yourself, trust yourself. And I'm not saying like put yourself in any like whatever financial duress, but stretch yourself because that's how you grow. That is exactly how you grow. And it was a stretchy experience. And there was like at the moment I said yes, like I got the opportunity to step up and level up into the woman I am today. And I got to do it quickly. So I always say this, like, yeah, sure, you could figure this out in like 5 years, 10 years alone by yourself, trying to like do the free online courses or just pay to be in the room, pay to be around the women that, have done the things that you do, pay to be the energy and your energy will match it from a neuroscience perspective. And then the final thing about the feminine path to wealth and the feminine way to run a business, like we can look or be advised by all sorts of like bro culture, the ways that other people have like done funnels and all these things. And yet that's not the way that it has to be. And it's not the way that you get to decide how to live your life and run your business. And so when I think about like the feminine path to wealth, the feminine way of running a business, I've learned so much of that through this community. And it's given me permission to actually have the life that I want, like to have to be a badass business owner, and wear cute floral dresses and be really feminine and like call in whatever amount of money I want. And that is magical, in my opinion. That is really special. So if you're on the edge and you're thinking like, I don't know, is it time? If there's something calling to you that's saying like, I think this could be good for me, the answer is yes. The answer is find the way and you will match that identity that says yes.
I love that. I love that so, so much. Um, Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's so important for all of us, especially like high achieving women in business, sales leaders, to be in community with other women who are breaking the mold of what is possible. As you were sharing that, Allison, I was even thinking about like the street that we live on now. Um, every other home is owned by nothing wrong with it, but like by a man who's like been successful in business or like an anesthesiologist or the entrepreneur. And when we first moved here, like I'm the breadwinner of our family. I support our family. My husband's going to med school. There was a little part of me that was like, is this okay? Like significantly older men, primarily leaving the family who own the homes. And it has been so beautiful to step into like, yes, I can. Yes, I can do this. I even think about, you talk about, and we don't have time to get into all of it today, but like the experience of going and buying your Porsche and doing it in the really cute floral dress and like looking great while you did it. And it's your money that you're doing it with. And so we get to break the mold, right? This is not like I love men. I'm married to one. I'm a mom of several, like love, love, love them. That's not what this is about. But it is about, I think, us creating a different paradigm of what we get to expect for ourselves as women, what we get to step into, how much we get to call in, how we get to lead, and simultaneously, if you're called to it, be a mom, be a partner, show up looking cute the way you want to, like decorate your home the way you want to. And you get to be incredibly successful in business. You get to, Caroline, like you talked about yesterday, like make more money than anyone's ever made in your family. You get to do it all. You get to do the things, but you have to rewrite the beliefs for yourself. You have to rewrite your story and create the new identity of who you are at the level with your goals achieved and accomplished. So there's so much more I want to say, but Allison, that was beautiful. Thank you so, so much for sharing that. Um, Let me take a moment and talk about 10K and talk about what's available before we run out of time. And I don't even talk about it. So I want to make sure we have space to share about this for those of you who want to go deeper in the work, deeper in the community. And again, if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, we have really cool options that are available for you, for those of you who are like, you know what, I am ready to ascend. I am ready to create a far more abundant, expansive business, life, sales career for those of you in corporate sales. And I'm ready to stop playing small as well. And so I'll share about the options. I'll share about the specials we have going on this week. And we'll also share in the chat, for those of you who are here live, we'll share the link to either apply and get enrolled now or to book a call with your success advisor if you want to book a call and chat through what your options are. So with that being said, um, 10K Club is such a beautiful program. And what we've done this month is we've actually rolled out 2 new things we've never had available before in this program. So this will be for those of you who aren't yet in the community or in the program but want to come join us. There's 3 different kind of levels you can come in at. And for those of you who are already part of the community, there's now an option for you to add on private coaching with what you're doing. So that's really exciting too, and something we've never done before. So I'll talk about this briefly. I'll show you what's inside and we'll talk about next steps and how you can get going if you want to. So I would say the 10K Club is really ideal for, we do have men and women in it. So it's a mixed group, but it's definitely more women than men. But really ideal for primarily a woman who is, and just you can feel into if you relate to this, like you're driven, you're an achiever, you're ambitious, you have really big goals and dreams for your life, bigger than maybe you would be willing to share out loud or speak out loud, but you know that you're here for a purpose and you know that you're here for something bigger. And maybe no one has ever told you or given you permission, not that you need it, to actually go for it, to actually have it, to actually receive it. You are probably an entrepreneur or you're in sales and you want to call in more money. You want to call in at least 6 figures, if not multi 6, 7, or beyond. And you maybe are thinking that you've got to grind, hustle, force, push your way to get there, that it's got to be really hard or heavy or take a long time. And you've maybe been taught like that maybe you feel like, oh, sales is gross. Like all the business building strategies I've been taught, like they don't feel good. This brings it to you in a completely different energy, a completely different light, where you are going to be empowered to achieve next level financial, money, abundance goals, completely shift your relationship with money to one where it feels supportive, aligned, where money flows, where clients flow, just like Allison was talking about over the weekend, closing a 60K private client, just like that, super easy. Like it gets to be easy. You're going to learn how to do that within this community. So it is a 12-month immersive community. There is an on-demand training suite that you get immediately upon access, and I'll show you behind the scenes of it in a minute, but you get it. Like if this resonated, you're going to love that, right? Like if this resonated, you're going to love that. It is my teachings and trainings from the past 5 years, actually. So you'll see, like, even from the first quantum leap I had up until now, where we're going from 7 to 8 figures, you're going to get the trainings and the teachings. You're going to see, like, you'll get the progression of my consciousness along the way too. But we have everything broken into a system that we call the 4 quadrants of quantum sales growth. So let me actually I'll share my screen and I'll share with you what it looks like inside when you enroll. Give me just a second to share. All right. Can you I think you can see my screen. Yes. Okay. So this is our virtual training portal. So when you log in, you get access to this right away. And what you'll see here is, so there's some pre-work, there's healing. I mean, even just the pre-work, I feel like is extremely powerful. You will move a lot of energy, even in just some of the first few modules. We do some inner child, we shift and move relationship with money, with yourself. You do a really powerful 90-day goal setting vision exercise that I think will help you radically expand, even if I think it's such good timing now as we go into the last 90 days of the year to give you the support to finish this year exceptionally strong, even better than you could have imagined. Then we break down the trainings by the 4 quadrants of quantum sales growth. So mind over matter, every single one of these modules is transformational. Like the magic of alignment, I think this is one of our most important ones. You'll learn a process we call new personality, old personality, that I have used to manifest our home, my cars, retiring my husband. That one module, I think in and of itself is worth the investment. Money, you are going to heal and shift your relationship with money and let it be one of the most supportive, empowering in your life. You will learn how to create an energy of abundance that stays with you and that you generate from the inside out, no matter where you're starting from right now. But it's going to empower you to call in and receive the amount of money that you are desiring, whether it's 6 figures, multi 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, or beyond. Masculine and feminine energy, this is also one of my favorites. There's even one module in here where feminine and masculine energy. Let's see here. Oh yeah, feminine time mastery. This one in and of itself, I think is life-changing. We have not been taught as women how to run our businesses and our lives based around our energy cycles, which are completely different from our male colleagues and peers. We run on a 30-day energy cycle. They run on a 24-hour energy cycle. It's completely different. How you want to set up your business, your activities is completely different as a woman than as a man. Learning how to do this and do it this way, you will experience so much less friction in your day, in your life. You'll learn how to set up your sales activities, your business activities in your life to align with your energy cycles versus work against it, which is a lot. We don't even know we've been taught this, but if things feel heavy, if they feel hard, if you're like, I feel like I'm having to push myself to do the activities, it is very, very likely and possible that you are simply trying to do activities that don't fit the energy cycle that you're in at that point in the month. So we're going to teach you and you're going to learn how to shift that right here. And then method. So method is strategy. Method is, okay, what are the things that we're actually doing in our businesses to grow? And I take this from over 2 decades now of working strategy and working with literally some of the top sales performers in, like, truly the top sales performers in the world across almost every different industry, as well as supporting some of the top entrepreneurs in the world, top 10 entrepreneurs, top 10 podcasters who, billionaires, leaders of huge global companies. I take the learnings and teachings from that and apply it here through a feminine lens to empower you to say, okay, if I want to go launch a podcast or grow my podcast, if I want to market and promote myself like the best thing in town, if I want to go, really like hone in on my B2B sales skills, right? All of these things are incredibly powerful and important, but we're layering them on the foundation of the first three, which is mind over matter. So, how do you rewire your belief systems to create anything you want? That's identity work. Number two, money, wealth energetics, wealth consciousness. Number three, masculine and feminine energy. Then we're giving you the strategy on top of that. And then there's some really beautiful bonus tools and trainings as well. When you're in the community, the live community, you also get access to years of live teachings and trainings. So I'll talk about what that looks like. The 3 levels that we now have available within the community, and we built these based on what people were asking for. We are now offering what I just showed you, the 10K Club curriculum, as a standalone course. So if you are someone who's like, I don't care about the community, although I feel like the community is one of the best parts of what we have. But I have had women be like, you know what? I really just want the material. I really just want the course. We have that available for you now. Standalone course. You can get instant access. You have lifetime access to that. Our second tier up is that course plus the community. You get a live event ticket. You get twice a month live calls with me leading them. You get twice a month implementation calls with Laura leading them as well. You get a community aspect to that as well, an online community aspect, which who in here is a member of it? Like pretty much everyone on camera who I see right now. I know a lot of you are watching the replay, but like you understand the value of the community. And I really do think that this is such a powerful option. I think you should be in the community if you're here watching this. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity to come in, be with a group of really like-minded women who are ascending, get personal coaching from me and my team pretty much every week, the way we've got the calls structured and laid out. Have an event ticket to come be with us at an event and to grow and ascend. And then the third tier option, and this would be appropriate whether you're coming in brand new or whether you are already in the community and you want to level up, we now have the opportunity to be in the 10K Club Plus, have private coaching support with a She Sells certified coach. So what that looks like is twice a month, you're getting on a private call with your coach. They're helping you implement this material. They're helping you go deeper into the material. They're helping you customize. We haven't had that really available, not at scale until now. And we are incredibly excited. Emma, I know, I love it too. I'm so, so excited for it. So if my team, Laura, if you can pop the links in the chat, please, for both the 3 levels that someone can go to. We've got the program pages here. Laura's going to pop that in the chat. If you're watching the replay, the link is going to be sent out with the replay email. Like you can't go wrong. I mean, you really can't go wrong. I would say invest at the level that feels stretchy for you, that the next level version of you would be doing, not what's comfortable. But I'm really excited to have these options available, whether you want self-study to be on your own, or if you want to come be in the community or get that VIP private support with a coach, with a certified consultant, you can have that available now. What was I going to say? Oh, for September, well, actually not for September, through the end of this week. So through September 26th, what we are doing is 10% off any level. That's 2 days, the next 48 hours. All right. That is not available after that. I've actually never done this within this community in this way, but we wanted to do something really special for you. So whether you are an existing client and you're like, I want to upgrade into the private level, you can take advantage of this opportunity. If you are not yet in the community, maybe you're a member of our membership, maybe you're not doing anything with us yet, you can come in at the level that works for you. And through Friday, you can get 10% off with, I think the code is September special, right, Laura? I believe that's it. You can get it off of any level. Okay, so Laura's popping the link in the chat for you to go and see which level is right for you. What we are doing through the end of the day today, and it is literally through the end of the day today. It is not beyond that because I'm really fierce with my time right now and I don't have the bandwidth for it. But we're excited to offer this today for those of you who are enrolling in the main program, the core program, so 10K plus the community, or 10K with the private coaching offering, and you're doing that today. We are gifting you a 30-minute private call with me. All right, so that is today only. That can be if you're in the existing community and you're upgrading into private, we will honor that as well. But that is through the end of the day today. So Laura, I understand, do you have some time open even this afternoon for calls with women who want to take advantage, who are like, hey, I think I might want to take advantage of that, but I need a call. So Laura, if you can also pop your calendar link in the chat, please, and your phone number for women to text you, that would be phenomenal. Laura's calendar is open this week for calls. We're hosting a live event starting next week, which is going to be really fun. And we're going to see many of you there. But through Friday, Laura has some time for calls. If you're like, you know what, I want to have a conversation, I need help determining what the right fit is for me. Or if you're already in the community and you want to upgrade to the private option, but you want to talk about what that looks like for you, book a call with Laura. All right, so Laura will put her calendar link in the chat. We'll link it in the replay email as well. But I would say if you are doing this, if you're joining us, then take advantage of it. Take advantage of today as well. Getting the 30-minute private, that is, I'm excited to offer it for the right women. It's an exclusive opportunity because we are bending time and space over here, and I'm very fierce and intentional about my time and what I do. But I'm excited to create this space and this container with you to help you really make a lot of fast shifts, really, really fast. So did I get it all? Laura, did I miss anything in terms of what's available? I think we talked about it. Anything I'm missing, or we got it? I covered it? Okay. So here is what I would say just in closing. Number one, I want to thank and appreciate you for being here. For everyone who spoke and shared their experience as well, I want to really honor and acknowledge you. So thank you. Thank you. Laura, Caroline, Allison, Laura D, You spoke yesterday. Corey, even though she had to hop off, I want to thank you for speaking and sharing your experience. And what I want to say to you, if you're here and you're feeling pulled towards this, follow it. Follow it. Again, your analytical mind will tell you, oh, here's all the reasons why it doesn't make sense, or I don't have the money, or this or that. The money comes after you decide. And you don't need to know the how. If you're like, I want to do this, but I don't know the how, that's fine. Book a call with Laura, talk with her about it. It's not a, I mean, gosh, she'll tell you, like, it's not a hard push sales call at all. That's not our vibe. It's, what would you love? Okay, let's talk about what that could look like for you. Let's be in possibility. We are we're really intentional about the members we bring into our community. So we really look for the right fit. And the call will support you in helping you find the right fit as well and ascend into the next level version of you. So if there are any questions, last minute questions on this, you can type them in the chat or you can come off mute. Or if you have questions on anything we spoke about, we've got like 4 minutes. I can do live coaching. I can answer questions. I can talk through wealth energetics, the programs. Does anyone have a question? Something that I feel like there's something. I feel like there's something that I'm feeling here. Emma, I feel like if you've got like something you're integrating, or I don't know, I feel like you've got something. Maybe it's even a takeaway. But I'm going to totally put you on the spot and ask you if you want to come off mute and either ask a question or share a takeaway.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm here for this. I feel really inspired by Allison's story. I want to share that. So thank you for sharing. And I've known Corey for the last year. Her story is incredible as well. So again, thank you both for sharing. And my takeaway is to just really step into who I am with no shame, no hesitation, and just flip and go for it. I don't want to drop an F-bomb, but like go for it. I have that like urge consistently like throughout the year for probably like the past 5 years. And that's when I met you, Elise, I shared that with you. And that's kind of how I ended up in the 10K program last year. And even going into this year and some of the things that I've worked on this year, I can still feel that like hesitation. So I know it's there and I need to just release it and go for it. So that's my big takeaway.
Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful when you start asking yourself, like, what is on the other side of me just releasing that hesitation and going for it or taking action, even like acknowledging it. It's always just a small part of you. It's your inner child. It's what it is. It's a small part of you that like gets to be healed, gets to be loved on, gets to believe in herself even more. So I think that's part of the power of the work in this community and what's even in the modules. But every time we ascend, we get that. Every time we're going to another level, we get that. We get to become the next level version of us. And so it's beautiful and it's part of it. But when you make decisions based on desire and faith versus fear, that is how we call in everything we want. That is how we quantum leap. That is how 6 months from now, a year from now, you're on the Zoom and I'm asking you to speak and share your story because of how much you have ascended. That's how it works and how it happens. So with that, we love and appreciate you. Again, if you're here live, if you're watching the replay, we want to support you in whatever level you're feeling called to. So Laura dropped all the links in the chat. Thank you for that. If you are watching the replay and you're like, I need links, I don't know, I need them sent to me, email Shauna on my team, assist@elisearcher.com. She'll make sure that you get everything you need. We've got the special today where you get the 30-minute private call with me for those of you who are enrolling. And then through the end of the week, we have the 10% off on any of the levels with the code September special. So we love you. Thank you for being here. You are amazing. You deserve everything you desire. You deserve incredible, expansive abundance in your life. Money wants to support you. It is there for you. And I appreciate you being here. So much love to all of you. And we are excited to see you inside the programs and inside the community. Bye.